Nice to be here tonight. Tough act to follow Josh. If anyone else has seen him in the Putnam County Spelling Bee as William Barfay, that was the hardest I've laughed in probably 10 years. Okay, I'm already running behind. Triple threat, an elite performer who excels at acting, singing, and dancing. Many people who are in the entertainment industry behind the scenes are struggling actors. I am not one of them. I have no talent whatsoever. I want to be a business person. We're going to get to that. You'll see tonight that these slides were put together by someone over 40 whose graphic design person was on vacation the day that these were due. So look up maybe instead of looking there. Born and raised in Montreal is all I wanted to say about that. Growing up, my dad, for whatever reason, all his friends were lawyers and they golfed a lot. And this was the 80s, so I picture a mix of the gang from Caddyshack and Steve Martin, and those were the people as a kid that I got to hang out with all the time, and I thought they were just the greatest bunch of guys. They were hilarious, and all they talked about was being business lawyers. And from about the age of 13, 14, all I wanted to do was be a business lawyer. The 80s was a time when being a lawyer was cool. I don't know if that's still the case. I know it wasn't for a while. Maybe it is now. When I was a kid, again, everyone was reading The Firm. Everyone was watching LA Law. These were the people you wanted to be. So I thought there's nothing better than going to law school. So what did I do? I went to McGill to get a business degree. This slide is completely useless. I was just going to tell you that I went to McGill for no apparent reason. Got a Bachelor of Commerce degree. While I was there, I wrote the LSAT, and UBC at the time was ranked the #2 school in Canada for law school, which I thought was amazing. No one in my family at the time had literally ever been west of Toronto. I got into UBC. I told my parents, I'm going to UBC. They said, Vancouver, where is that? It was really far away. No one had ever been there. I heard there was a golf course on campus and it was the #2 school. That was it. I went, packed up and moved to Vancouver. I Googled mentors and networking, and this is the first thing that came up. And I thought, a Karate Kid photo, great. But I did want to talk about the importance of getting a mentor. At UBC, I was lucky enough to have someone named John Festinger be a mentor to me. I don't know if anyone here from law school took his class. At law school, he was just an amazing guy who took me under his wing and showed me that you can actually have a career as a business lawyer in film, which blew my mind away. So I got a job working for Goodmans, worked on a bunch of productions. My clients were mainly Americans who came up here to Vancouver to film. The Vancouver people were the service provider to the Americans. Oh, where'd that slide go? You're going way too fast. That was not 20 seconds. This was at the time also of the dot-com bubble. There's all sorts of things that anyone here who graduated in the past 10 years don't know what I'm talking about now. I just wanted to say there was all kinds of money pouring into everything at the time. There were a whole bunch of projects made that never should have been made, but people had way too much money. This graph, again, horrible Google image. All I wanted to show you here was that the market goes up, the market comes down. And if you look at when the market goes down, that's when a lot of production companies left Vancouver. It went up, a lot of productions came into Vancouver. It went down again, a lot of production companies left. Everyone was scared, everyone was happy, everyone was scared, everyone was happy. We're in a happy time, and I joined a company called BRON Studios, started by a fellow named Aaron Gilbert, who was a client of mine when I was at Goodman, so back to the power of networking. And we are trying to build not a Canadian studio, but I call it a Hollywood studio that's based in Canada, because as I learned moving out here, who wouldn't want to be based in Vancouver? My kids used to ask me when they were young, what do you do all day? Because we used to read this book all the time. So I quickly describe making a movie similar, this is going to be horrible, but to making a baby. It happens thousands of times a year, but it's still a miracle, and don't forget that. You have to arrange financing, you have to get an actor who won't come on board until you have financing, but you can't get the money until you have the actor, and it's an absolute nightmare. BRON Studios has an animation studio in Burnaby. We have 2 animated films coming out. The first one, Henchman, coming out very shortly. This one, the second one on the bottom, is a movie that we're doing with Netflix called The Willoughbys, and that's literally the only photo I could show contractually. We have a live action company also that has people here in Vancouver and an office of about 20 people in LA. These are the movies we've worked on in the past year or two. Fences, amazing movie, 4 Oscar nominations, including Viola Davis, who won the Oscar for Best Actress, and Leave No Trace, amazing movie, gonna get a Best Director nomination, I guarantee it. Plug, Launching today, actually going wide tomorrow, including in Vancouver. The Front Runner, starring Hugh Jackman, a movie we produced and financed. Amazing movie. Story of Gary Hart. Many of you, I think, are too young to know who that is, but it's Hugh Jackman. So go see it, because it's Hugh Jackman, and he's amazing. The industry, I showed you the graph, highs, lows, scary. Everyone's scared, everyone's leaving town, everyone comes back. Now we're in an era where everyone's scared because we're all getting Netflixed, and everyone doesn't know what that means. It's hard to sell a movie. It's hard to get a broadcast deal. This has been an amazing time to produce content. Netflix needs content, otherwise you're going to stop paying $10 a month. So they constantly need more content. Apple needs content. Amazon needs content. Everyone needs content. It's an amazing time to be producing content. Amazing, not lucrative, but amazing. Working in television and film is really the gig economy before that term was even coined. You know, we talk about Uber drivers now. The gig economy, you can get a job whenever you want. Film industry is kind of like that. You can work part-time, you can work full-time. You can actually work 8 months a year and make enough money to go to the beach for 4 months a year, which is what a lot of people do and won't come work for us because we want them to work 12 months a year. I put up one quick slide. I know Peter's talking after me. He's the guru in this town. I assume he's going to have way more slides like this. But 60,000 jobs in BC in the film industry. Very quick slide. The line at the top, box office revenue of a movie. The line at the bottom, producer's share. So anyone wants to do a Q&A after, I'm going to explain what the big line is and what the little line is. But amazing time, like I said, to be producing content, but a little bit scary. So my last slide is what I have to do every morning and every evening. Take a deep breath, try not to have a heart attack. It's a very stressful industry, but it's amazingly fun, and there are jobs for business and law grads like everyone in this room. Thanks for your time.